My name is Adochi. I go to school at Elmwood Elementary. I have breakfast at school.
Our parents were right when they used to tell us breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And we now know from research that that's exactly right, that eating a nutritious breakfast does promote good health.
Oftentimes we're finding at these schools, they're hungry when they get to school. They haven't had breakfast. They didn't feel like eating breakfast maybe when they first got up. Or maybe there isn't breakfast at home for them to eat. This is a very busy school for breakfast, and one of the situations we found was that it's very difficult to get the children through quickly with a very short period of time that we have at the beginning of the day.
When they first told me I was going to have 3 lines to set up and run, I'm like, oh no, I can't do that, that's too much.
What we've done is set up what's called a grab-and-go breakfast here. As they exit the line, they're allowed to go into the classrooms to eat their breakfast.
These new breakfast breaks are absolutely wonderful. That's where the cereal, the juice, and the crackers are all combined, and the kids come by. They don't even need a tray. They just grab a milk, that, and they're gone. It's really not hard.
The teachers obviously were concerned in the beginning that there may be messes to clean up in the classroom where the children really wouldn't be able to manage the breakfast and sharpening their pencils and copying their homework and doing their morning journals. But quickly they learned that children will, take a few bites and then write down their homework. It really did not impede their ability to participate in those first 10 minutes of the day.
160?
When they come in with breakfast, it's an easy transition because they just have to continue doing everything they normally do, except they're eating while they do it. So the kids are staying in class, so they're receiving instruction. They're not missing out on anything because of it. So of course, overall, their behavior is improved because they're there for instruction and they're getting everything they can out of their school day. And it doesn't interrupt anything that's going on in the classroom. I was nervous about the trash at first because I thought that maybe my bins would be overloading throughout the day, but it turns out that they're collecting it right after breakfast, so it's not a problem at all. The kids are really excited to have that job of emptying out the garbage each morning, leaving it in the hall.
The teachers select a child from each classroom to be in charge of putting the trash out the classroom each morning.
They will often have kids that help with the trash, hold the trash can, the trash bags up for the kids so that they can put their trash in there. And the kids love it because they're helping, and they help their classmates, they help the teacher. They don't mind doing this.
There hasn't been any difficulties in picking up the trash in the mornings or any change in my schedule. It's just using more trash bags each morning.
We used to have kids who didn't want to get breakfast because the lines were too long, and they'd say, well, I didn't eat because the line was too long, or I didn't want to, waste all my time in the cafeteria. And at that point, we did have kids who, they wanted to go to the nurse or something to go get a snack, and now we don't have that problem.
We think every school should provide as many ways for every child to eat whatever food we have available so that no child in Maryland starts their school day with a tummy that's rumbling or a head that hurts because they didn't get to eat breakfast.
I have noticed a decrease in the amount of children that come in the morning that say they're hungry. I have noticed over the last year or so.
So now they are getting the breakfast and they're coming and eating it, so we don't have that problem anymore. So of course they're happier because they're eating.
One of the unexpected side effects of our breakfast to go has been the dramatic increase in breakfast participation by our students.
Because it goes so quickly, more students do participate, more students do eat.
Our breakfast participation rate increased by almost double. The extra cost associated has actually not come from breakfast to go, but the increase in breakfast participation at Elmwood. The cost associated with that has not fallen to the school, but the Office of Food and Nutrition has picked that up.
The practical nature of schools is they're always going to ask that first. Well, what does this mean to my building, to my school system? But the fact of the matter is that in the long term, it's just a shifting of the way that funds are used, and that the federal reimbursement really does support a lot of the work around alternative breakfast programs.
Our children fall in line, they are anxious to start their day, they walk through the hallways, so it's all a very positive experience.
The more students that we can feed, the less hunger that we have with students out there, and they're ready to learn when class does start.
All the things that we thought would be disruptive, that kids would be eating rather than working, that we would be eating instead of providing instruction, that the trash would make a mess in our classrooms. None of that seems to be the case.
I highly recommend this to any school. I think it's good for your breakfast count, and it's not that hard on the people that are working here either.
We have many more students now eating breakfast, and we know that they're starting out their day ready to learn.